All right, guys. So you guys already know um, my Tokyo strategy with any currency with JPY. So you see it on here, like JPY, you see JPY, Canadian JPY, Euro JPY. I'll do Euro JPY. Um, so this is kind of like adding a more to it. If you want to do what I said in the previous video, is you take the most recent, the highest part in the time zone, which would be here. I'll mark it green. And the most recent low in the Tokyo time zone, I'll mark it red. On here, you'll see it broke the most recent low, so you would take a short on here. So what you can do to add more, you might take less trades overall, but it's more of a sure thing. What I would do is add the Ichimoku on it. So I would click here, boom. So I'm going to take off all of the currency, and I'm going to delete, actually I'll keep those on there. So you don't see the pricing on there. I'm going to delete these off too. So if I'm looking at just from here over, if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, hey, I'm going to take a look at the Euro JPY, it's 5 a.m. Eastern time, whatever, Tokyo closed, and I would say, you know what, I'm going to look at it, okay, I'm only going to take any downtrends for the day. And what I would do, I would say, okay, well, downtrend for the day. Let me put back on the candles. Okay, we see it's a downtrend. Let me go back. Let me do replay for you guys real quick. Boom. So we're here. This is the end of Tokyo session. Mark the low, and I'll mark the high here. Put green for the high. Anything that breaks below here, as you can see, downtrend. It's red. It's already in the downtrend. Green is behind. Blue is within pricing. Clouds pointing down. Wide open. It's below the red. So I'm going to look for downtrends. I'll go forward an hour. Forward an hour. Whoops. Move this down. This is the price. So look, it broke. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know, I mean, you can wait for a retest, but I already know it's going to be a downtrend because of the Ichimoku cloud is pointing down. So it's another indicator saying, okay, this would be a safe bet to take a short. And short, and you see it plays with it. You can take this here. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but let's say you took it on the closing candle here. That's 23 pips. I like to do, say, 20 pips, take my profit, and I'm good for the day. But this is across each currency that's going against JPY. So right there, that would be a nice little profit. Even more if you want to keep going. Ideally, I would do 20 to 30. Depends on your lot size. You can go for 100, whatever it may be. But this is just for beginners. This is nice. This is showing a downtrend. This broke the low. I'm safe with taking it. And then vice versa. You can do uptrends. I'm trying to find one where you can see it was, I wouldn't take a trade on, which would be, let me do this. This is probably a good one to show you guys really quick. One that I wouldn't take a trade on. Let's see, I'll do it here. Maybe this is a good one. So you see how it's a downtrend? It's still in between. Let me set up the high, the highest part in the time zone, and the lowest part in that time zone, mark it red. So you know this is the lowest and the highest in that time session. Continuing. So it broke above, but it was still showing this is still below the cloud. So I personally wouldn't do any trades on there. You can if you want to. Me, I won't, just because it's in the cloud. This is more like a little advanced. Hey, it'll be more safe, less risk, because it's pointing down. I wouldn't. You can if you want to, but this is one I would. I still have no trades for the day. We marked a new high. This might get a little confusing to some people. But again, you can ask me questions in the comments below. No trades. It's just playing in the field. Because you can see it broke the high, but this was still pointing down. So I wouldn't. The trend line was showing down, but it broke the high. I would just avoid it. I was going to another pair, or just not trade for that day because it's in ranging. On this one, so we'll set the new high is here. And now this is a good example, because oops, red, get this out. So this was no trade in this area because this was showing a downtrend, yet it broke the highest in that session. I would just avoid it because I like to go with the trends. And here it broke the high and it's showing upwards for the Ichimoku. So that's showing, hey, it's an uptrend and it broke the high. So we should start seeing it climb, as you can see here. That's a nice, good pip catch here. You would buy in the retest if you want to. I would have bought it earlier. That's 120 pips. 1 day trade that took 5 hours. And you can set your stop loss say 20 pips below wherever you took it. You can do half the time in here, the last wick, whatever the case may be. But one, you see cloud is pointing up, and it broke the uptrend, the highest point in the session. So it's an uptrend, strong, strong, strong. Now, if it went the other way, if it went this way, if this broke this way, downwards, this area, but it was showing up on the trend, I would avoid it. I would avoid it total, because then it can go boop and come back up because the trend is showing up. So this is another way, quick, simple way to use Ichimoku Cloud and the session that I showed you in the previous video. I'm going to end this here because some people have some questions about it. So you put the Ichimoku Cloud. If it's above the cloud, look for uptrends going along. If it's below the cloud, red, look for sells. When it's below the cloud, I mean the furthest point here. If it's pointing up, going along. If it's pointing down, you're shorting. If it's pointing down and it breaks the highest point in that session, do not trade. Only look for ones that are breaking the lowest part in that session. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a good idea. If you want me to make another video, you can message me on Discord, because I think some of you guys kind of know me from there, the alien. But yeah, that's using Ichimoku Cloud with the strategy I showed you before. So hopefully you understand what I'm saying. If not, comment down below. I'll make another video. I'll make one every day, whatever the case may be. All right, thank you guys.